All right, people. Thank you for joining me today. 5x5, fat. Thank you. All right, appreciate it. Anyway, guys, today's Wednesday midweek report. We got a couple of fun things to talk about and a couple of not so fun shit to talk about. Um, on here we're trying to, or rather, I would like to focus on other things other than prepper related shit or even political shit that we talk about all the time. Though some things are probably going to be very political today, just because that's the way of the way the media is swinging everything. Um, that being said, sounds good. Thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Landfill. Appreciate the 5x5. All right, guys, thank you. So let's jump right into it. So these are normally not long for those of you that are new to the Wednesday midweek reports, or sorry, or excuse me, or this morning shows or afternoon shows, whatever I decide to put them up. I'm going to try to keep them at 10 in the morning. 12 in the afternoon might be because I had something to do in the morning. So, but for the most part, they will be at 10 in the morning. That being said, guys, these shows are normally short. They're not an hour long unless I go into some fucking rant, which I'm going to refrain from doing today. I'm going to try to keep it to the 20 minutes or so, or half hour, and let's see where it goes from there. So, first thing, guys, I think some of you have seen this. Maybe you haven't. Some of you might not even know what these are. But the free cell phone charges that you see in cities, I know a lot of you guys live in like rural areas, and your town doesn't have these free charges because they don't need them. Um, they're these they're these objects that, you know what? Let me just try to pull up one of them for you so you guys get an idea of what it looks like. Uh, but they are these like mini uh, chargers that have displays and shit on them. So here in the city, city cell phone, trying to pull up an image for you guys and having a hard time. Give me a second. So anyway, these things, guys, um, they are not good to hook up to, right? So I know a lot of you guys will see that live in the city. You see these towers or these mini towers, and they have a display on it. They'll tell you what time the train or the bus is showing up. Meanwhile, it's like 8 blocks away from the train station. You're like, why the fuck is this thing here? Um, so they're just free charging stations, right? And sorry, can't do two things at once because I suck. So with that, guys, you'll see them just standing free charging station cell phones. You'll see them just on the corner. They're mainly on the corner. Airports have them as well. Though I didn't hear this come out of an airport. Really can't find any pictures of it, but I'll do a short and I'll show you guys what it looks like because I have one down the block. Anyway, so the FBI is warning to stay away from the public uh, phone charging stations. Right? These things, guys, they are supposedly collecting data. So though you're in the street and you're like, oh man, I got 1%. What do I do? And then you run over to the charging port and you connect your phone into it. A lot of them are saying that you should use your own cables. Me personally, I've never used one. I'd rather my phone go dead before I use one of those things. Um, Miss Prepping Artist says VA hospitals have them. Yeah, so hospitals have them, airports have them, bus stations. I think movie theaters, some movie theaters might have them. But nonetheless, you shouldn't trust any of them. I never have. I never will. I don't know why people feel the urge or the need to hook their shit up to something they don't know anything about. Now here in the city, they dressed them up a little bit because, like I said, they'll have the charging station will have like information on it, right? So, for example, we're entering the Pride season, and they'll have like historical gay heroes, and you've never heard of any of them. Black History Month, they'll put like black heroes on it, and they always put like the mainstream black heroes and not like any of the um, the other thousands of black heroes out there. But whatever, I'm not gonna go down that road. So, and they'll also tell you like the bus stop information, especially if it's by a bus stop or if it's near a train. They'll tell you that the one train or the A train is coming soon, and all this other bullshit. And with that, there's like a little keypad, which I don't know what the keypad's for. I think it's to make free phone calls as well, especially to 911. But you can also charge your phone there, right? So these things are bad. I always thought they were bad, but now the FBI is confirming. So the FBI issued a serious warning against using free public phone chargers, saying cunning delinquents or bad actors have been known to use USB ports to infect phones with dangerous malware and software that can give hackers access to your phone, tablet, and or computer. Now, the phone, tablet, or computer is probably if you're using one of those ports at the airport or bus station, right? Because I can't see you standing in the street with your fucking laptop out, plugging in the middle of the street. Vision, how many are in the city? Probably thousands. I will get you a confirmed number when I do a short later today. But I definitely will look that up because now I'm curious after you ask that question. Obviously, I'm like, shit, how many are in the city? But we will see. Karen Bell says you can make free phone calls on them. Okay, you can. All right, again, I wouldn't use them. I would never even look at them and be like, hey, man, I could be shot in the fucking chest and I still wouldn't use one of those things. That's how disgusted I am with them. And I don't know if I'm disgusted with it because it's free or because it's an unnecessary thing to have. Anyway, according to the FBI, avoid using free charging stations in airports, hotels, shopping centers. A tweet that came from the FBI account. Carry your own charger and USB cord and use electrical outlets instead. They'll figure out a way with electrical outlets down the line, but for now, they want you to use electrical outlets. The Federal Communications Commission previously warned about juice jacking. This is what it's called, which has been happening since 2021. We are in 2023. So for about 2 years, they've been notifying people not to use the free chargers. All right, so be it. Avoid using charging stations that and carry your own shit. Again, guys, I don't know what. Listen, I get it. If you're at 1% and you're in a serious situation, you might want to use one of those. But I would rather go into a restaurant or a store and ask them to use their outlet for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes can get you some serious charge on your phone, especially now. That they charge pretty fast. So I would avoid using one of these at all costs. Yeah, and just don't do it, guys. I mean, it don't matter how desperate you are. Again, I told you before, man. Shot in the chest, I wouldn't use it. Cottage farms. Now, yes, I interestingly enough, the FBI are like one of the last people on this planet you want to trust, but sometimes your concerns align, right? And sometimes your concerns will align with the FBI or the CIA or whatever it is, because you guys will look at the same thing and go, all right, I thought that was a problem, and now it was confirmed to be a problem. That's what the FBI did. That being said, thank you for bringing it up, Cottage Farm. The alignment that I thought I would never see in a million years is this next subject we're going to talk about, or story we're going to talk about, where New York State Assembly produced a bill wanting to ban farmland from being purchased by Chinese or Russian and their adversaries, right? So, our adversaries, so other adversaries that we might have. So right now, there's a bill in Albany that wants to ban the purchase of farmland by companies tied to hostile governments such as China and Russia. This new bill was unveiled in legislation in the legislature. Sorry, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, wait, what? The communist country of New Yorkistan is actually doing something that the United States should have done decades ago, and now New York State is doing it first. Now, apparently not first, but there were other states that have done it before New York State. Sorry, I think there were 14 states that have similar bills, if I'm not mistaken. But I can't believe New York State, the communist out of all communist countries, states, is like, yo, we can't have these fucking people, buying our farmland. So I thought that was pretty cool. Again, sometimes, not often, few far in between, in galaxies far, far away, does your alignment happen to uh, align with places you hate, like New Yorkistan, right? So interesting, right? So Albany could become the latest state to ban farmland purchases by companies tied to hostile governments under a new bill unveiled in the legislature. In the midst of national security concerns related to spying, it is important that the United States not allow foreign adversaries like China, the Chinese government, to continue purchasing large amount of agricultural land. This was by Assemblyman Angelo, some Italian fucking last name, some Gindaloon, Sander Barbara, whatever the fuck his last name is. Anyway, he's a Democrat out of Schenectady. The proposal would ban entities owned by foreign adversaries, including China, Cuba, Iran, North Korea, Russia, and Venezuela. Now, I don't know. There's certain companies on it, like Cuba and North Korea. I didn't know that North Korean countries or North Korea was a country that was like buying land because they're so fucking poor they can't afford anything. But I guess I shouldn't get into it. 14 states have enacted similar restrictions, according to a February tally by 538. I guess that's a company, while more than a dozen other states are considering their own bans. Bans have been passed amid growing concerns over U.S. vulnerability to Chinese intelligence operations and rising tensions between Washington and Beijing. Again, some of you watched my live stream last night. You know that the United States announced that we will be going to war, or we might be going to war, or they are getting ready to go to war. Sorry, with China. They always mention going to war with China, but somewhere along the line, Russia drops out of that. I'm not buying it. Anyway, other countries could be added to the ban list if the Commerce Department finds a rival government is leveraging agricultural land buys in the U.S. to threaten national security, according to the Italian guy with the fucked up last name. Chinese investors own about 1% of total U.S. farmland controlled by foreigners as of 2021. This came from Congressional Research Services, which informs federal lawmakers. A total of 62% of all farmland owned by non-Americans is controlled by people and firms tied to one of 5 countries: Canada, Netherlands, Italy, United Kingdom, Germany, also all solid U.S. allies. Now that last part, all solid U.S. whatever, they shouldn't be sold to anybody other than Americans. Here's the problem. The problem, and a lot of people don't realize this, the big problem is that there are a lot of people that don't want to be farmers anymore. So they're letting their farmland go. There are people that can't afford to run their farmland, so they let their farmland go. So you have the mixture of people not affording farmlands and people not wanting to farm because, believe it or not, guys, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of those kids did not want to inherit the farmland. A lot of kids. We're talking about hundreds. And this was a problem back in the early 2000s. And there was articles about this, and you could probably find them, that people just didn't want to inherit the land. And if they inherit the land, they sold it because they wanted nothing to do with farming. So who did they sell it to? The fucking first guy that came along with a fucking a fat wallet and sold it to them. Didn't care where they were from. They just sold the land. So that has in itself been a problem for a long time. And farming is a lot of work. Now, granted, I think that a lot of us that are older, we wouldn't mind farming as long as we had some kind of backup plan, because again, farming is not a lucrative business, guys. It just isn't. But yeah, so it's not a lucrative business. But nonetheless, if you want to continue to feed this country the right way, correctly, without chemicals and shit in the food, you should become a farmer. Because at the very least, you could fight a lot of the U.S., not restrictions, but a lot of their bullshit laws and a lot of chemicals that they want you to use, right? So you can always do that. But again, I don't know how much harder it is to farm organic than it is the use of chemicals. And I would rather lose crop year after year than use the chemicals they want us to use when you're farming, right? So anyway, guys, so foreign entities currently own about 756,000 acres of farmland in the Empire State, a total of 40 million acres nationwide, according to 2021. So 40 million acres, guys, are owned by foreign entities throughout the country. 756,000 acres here in New York State alone. Now, again, remember when I talked about wanting to, I just said it a couple seconds ago. If you're going to farm, you got to do it organic. You can't do it the easy way. The easy way is using those petrochemicals that fucking suck. Those chemicals that have all the side effects that we are seeing now, guys. We have an abundance of health problems now. Now, people are going to say that our health problems are due to the fact that we're better at finding these problems. Bull fucking shit. Bullshit. Cancer rates are through the roof in the last 20 years. Cancer is something that you don't need to do a study on. You could just see it in people, especially when they have these sick issues or these ailments that go along with having cancers. Those symptoms have skyrocketed over the last 20 years, maybe if not 30 years. We've seen a huge difference. We've seen a huge difference in kids' behaviors over the last 15, 20 years. We've seen this difference, guys, and it comes from food, and it obviously comes from technology. Technology also plays a role, but I don't want to go down that road. Yet, food, guys, and the way it's being prepared, the way it's being grown, is destroying us. How come other countries, especially in Europe, they do not allow half, if not a third, three-quarters of the chemicals we use are not allowed in other countries? So, you look at other countries in Europe, you look at other countries, hell, and even China, they don't even use three-quarters of the chemicals we use to safeguard our food, to make them last longer, to make sure bugs don't eat them, animals don't eat them. Well, shit, if animals are not eating them, then apparently we shouldn't be either. But because, guys, the EPA and the FDA has these rules and regulations where they go, well, this is an allowable amount of chemicals that can be in your food, in your water. Why the fuck should there be an allowable amount of anything at all? Why can't our water be pure? Why do we have to have, why does 0.005 microns of anything allowable? It shouldn't be. Because the problem is that over time, guys, it accumulates in the body. A lot of chemicals cannot be disposed of just by drinking it once and pissing it out. It is an accumulative effect, guys. And they don't mention this when they talk about the allowable amount of chemicals that can be in water and food. The allowable amount of lead that can be in your food. There should be no fucking amount. There should be no amount of fluoride in your water. None of this shit should be in our waters. None of this shit should be in our food. But yet they come up with allowable amounts. And so that's the crazy shit. That being said, guys, I went on my fucking rant that I said I wasn't going to go on. And yes, and now we have microplastics in our blood because they decided that there's a certain amount of fucking plastic that's allowable in our water. Again, a cumulative effect. A cumulative down the line, guys. And somehow we got away from that. We got away from allowing things to be, it's okay. It's only so much. Well, once you bring up a cumulative effect, it shuts their argument down right away. Now, can we get back to having fresh drinking water? I don't know. I think it's possible. It's going to be hard, but nonetheless, I'm not sure. But that being said, this leads into the next thing I wanted to talk about, the ban on Skittles. So supposedly in California, they're banning Skittles now. I don't know why they need legislation and bills and laws. Just ban the fucking thing. Just tell them, hey, guys, you're not selling that shit in this country anymore, or this state. California, guys, again, California, the Communistic Republic of, California, they are fucking banning Skittles and other candies down the line, like Starburst and a couple others. There was a list of them. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh shit, Skittles? I mean, California is banning Skittles because there are mounting health concerns with eating Skittles. Skittles, guys, I stopped eating Skittles after I went to Iceland. After I went to Iceland and I looked at the ingredients on the back of Skittles, I was like, fucking 8 things. And then you look on the American package of Skittles and it's like 24 ingredients. Why the fuck is there such a disparity in ingredients? Yeah, disparity in ingredients as in less in Iceland, more in the United States. The United States has red dye. They have so many chemicals in Skittles, it's insane. But the Skittles here in the United States is fucking way tastier than the Skittles in Iceland. Nonetheless, guys, I stopped eating Skittles for that reason alone. I was like, no fucking way am I ever eating this shit. Lady said, I stopped eating Skittles and Starburst after losing teeth. No, I just stopped eating them because of the fucking difference in chemicals. I mean, hell, guys, ketchup here has an example. I'm not sure how many, but 12 ingredients. Whereas in Iceland, it's 4. And 4 natural ingredients. That's the thing. So the Skittles in Iceland are all natural ingredients. The Skittles here are all chemical induced. So they go, well, titanium dioxide in little amounts at a time, it's okay for you. So anyway, California. Again, sometimes, guys, you align with your enemies. Very, very few times does it happen, but California did it. The bill was introduced a year ago, so now it's gaining traction. The health concerns of Skittles has been brought up over the last 10 years. Now somebody's finally listening. So, interesting, right? That now that Skittles is going to be banned after all of this time. So, on a lighter note, not so much a lighter note, but maybe some of you guys have seen these videos that are floating around. Executions here in New York City. If you go to Instagram and you go to, I think it's NY Scoop. I don't have my phone near me. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's NY Scoop. They show you a lot of these videos. Now, why am I talking about tungsten dioxide candy coating? No shit. I didn't know that. Thank you, Joel. I have a tungsten ring. I used to wear a tungsten ring. No shit. I didn't know that. Anyway, so I think it's NY Scoop. And they've been showing these videos, guys, of this executions that are going on throughout the city. And I call them executions, but people call them fights or whatever it is. But so one video, and I wish I could show it, but trying to show you guys that shit on here will undoubtedly get the video taken down. But one video was a guy arguing with another dude, and all you see is them going back and forth, and there's not even a lot of hand movement. There's not a lot of. Paul F said yes, NY Scoop. Thank you, Paul F. All right, so it's NY Scoop on Instagram. Check them out. So anyway, with that, guys, they have like what looks like a discussion, not even an argument, but a discussion. And the guy goes to turn around, and then he goes back to say something to the dude, and he turns around. The guy puts one in his head. The store clears out as if somebody said free Nikes. Everyone was gone. And the guy walks by him and puts another one in the back of his head. Now, I think the first shot went in his back, and the second shot went in his head. Anyway, but the way the guy shot him, it was like some shit out of a movie, like he was an assassin or something. He just walked over, boom, and then there was no look on his face. There was no real look of anger. There was no look of disgust. He just offed this dude, and that was it. Second video is a guy talking to another dude. Apparently it's an argument. Again, it doesn't look like an argument because it doesn't look like they're shouting at each other. It looks like a disagreement. With that, the guy pistol whips the dude and starts shooting him. Now, the guy chasing him was a fat fuck. I don't know how he caught up to the dude because the dude cleared the corner, and it was like a good 2-3 seconds before the fat dude came hobbling around and shot the kid in the back. The kid was on the floor. The guy walks up to the kid and puts another one in his head. And I'm thinking, holy shit, this has got to be gang related because this is execution. This isn't just a dispute. This is just an argument. This isn't just people, having a fucking bad day. Normally, they used to shoot one another and run away. So we grew up in the era where you used to get into fistfights, and you used to get into fistfights, and then the fight was over. Then we became an era where you were getting shot at, but at least the kid shot at you and ran away. Now we're in an era where they're shooting at you, walking up to you, and ending your shit right then and there. And the looks on their faces, guys, are not even they're not even disturbed by it. They're not the way they're offing people. There's no. It's fucking crazy, man. And I'm trying to figure out whether or not it's the shot. Is it something else? Is it the arm ticket? Is something else in the air making people less or more careless? I don't know. I haven't decided. But it's pretty fucking bad. So that's been going on here in New York City, executions, and that's been going on everywhere actually, not just New York City. I know that's been going on in LA for a while. It's been going on in Chicago, Detroit, places in Florida, even places in Ohio. It's been going on all over the place. Yes, Lady AR, people are growing cold, but it's different, man. It's strange. I don't like it. I mean, at least when they used to shoot at one another, and then you could see the look on their faces after they got in the shootout. I fucked up. There is none of that. There is no remorse. There is no shit. I could be going to jail. None of that's gone. I'm like, what the fuck? It's pretty fucking bad. But anyway, with that, let's move on to the next subject of. Oh, speaking of coldness, the Target security guard that punched the lady in the face because she wanted reparations. I, I don't know why, but apparently the lady was at the checkout line with more than $1,000 of groceries, and I don't know if she was going to steal them, but she kept yelling reparations. So, a Target security guard punched the customer during a confrontation that was sparked when for when she asked for reparations while at the checkout line with more than $1,000 in groceries, according to police. The ugly incident happened in October. I don't know why we're being told about it in April. Probably because they had to do investigations and court and bullshit. Maybe. I don't know. So anyway, the incident happened in October at the mega store Target in Blue Ash, Ohio. Began when Karen Ivory, the reparations lady, asked the cashier for the manager regarding the bill and reparations. So this idiot racked up $1,000 in groceries and said reparations. And pretty much that's probably all she said because she's stupid. And the cashier alleged to authorities that Ivory brought up reparations several times during their brief encounter before the manager arrived. Reparations has been obviously a hot topic here in the United States, or a heated topic, but it's a stupid topic. It's a topic for lazy idiots. What we should get paid for something we didn't experience. You know what, guys? I could probably get a 23andMe test, find out I'm Jewish, and get reparations for that. No, let it the fuck go. It's done. Native Americans, let that shit go. Black people, let it go. Jews, let it the fuck go. Reparations is not a fucking thing. Now, some people are like, well, the Jews got their reparations. Not so, not the way you would think they did. When I looked it up, reparations for Jews wasn't the same. It was strange how they got it, who paid it. And the United States didn't pay it anyway. The Germans did, and the Germans paid the United States for reparations for Holocaust survivors, and that money went into some kind of fund. I thought it went into the individual Holocaust survivors that was still around when it was issued, but it went into some kind of fund. It was strange. This reparations that they want to give black folks here, it's going to go straight to their bank account, which is a bad idea. Anyway, in the body cam video on the purported incident on YouTube, Ivory told the officer she wanted the cashier to contact the manager so we can have a large conversation about how money works and how provision works and how it's been working in our community in a very wrong way. The lady goes on to say, this is my Rosa Parks moment. What the fuck? I read that. I was like, the lady deserved to get punched in the face. You compared yourself to Rosa Parks, or you made this your Rosa Parks moment. You deserve to get punched in the face. Sorry. Anyway, so nothing was said about what's happening to the guard. The guard obviously didn't get arrested. I'm not sure why he punched her because she didn't really attack him. But I mean, listen, a lady can smack me in the face, and that's probably about all she's gonna get. If she balls up her fist and hits me in the face, I'm gonna light her up. That's me. Um, a woman starts fucking, pity patting me because she's angry at me. All right, you let it go. She smacks you across the face a couple of times, open hand, you let it go. But if she gets into a boxer stance and wants to play fucking dude, then we're gonna fucking play dude together. And I'm 1,000% sure I'm gonna win that fight. But when it comes to women like this, I wouldn't have fucking hit her. But whatever. That's me. And interestingly enough, yes, the lady's name is Karen. So she's living up to her Karen-esque, features. I know there's some Karens on here. I'm not saying that you're all the same, but there seems to be a trend with the name Karen and people acting like Karens. Anyway, and by the way, quick history on the Karen thing. A lot of people seem to have thought Karen is a white woman who complains. Not necessarily true. Karen came from the restaurant industry, where the woman was always crying about, their food not being right, not being this, not being that, and always wanting to see the manager. Started in the restaurant industry and made its way into Walmart and Target. Then it just made its way into the world. But yeah, interesting. Most women who have complained were Karens. Just a very, very bad coincidence, if you ask me. Anyway, on to the Bud Light fiasco. So, Bud Light is officially losing money or revenue over this. So now, of course, Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch analyst or representative, state that it's too early to tell. When they say it's too early to tell, they already know. They know exactly what's happening with their money. And they know that they're losing money over this, and they know that they're losing revenue, and they're losing support, and even people who were supporting them, like celebrities, are backing out. You have country singers that are like, fuck Bud Light or fuck Anheuser-Busch. You had Kid Rock with that video, that awesome video he did. You got videos of people, this one guy who was from Jersey. It's one guy from Jersey who took all his First of all, I have to say, the guy from Jersey was a Jack Daniels enthusiast. So I'm going to get into Jack Daniels in a little bit. But anyway, so all of this is happening, guys, and they're losing all this support. So they're losing the support, which is a good thing because now Bud Light's like, we fucked up. But Bud Light is not backing down with their support for this 1% of this. Listen, if Bud Light said, you know what, we fucked up, we shouldn't have represented this person, I don't think it would have made a difference. It would make a difference. I don't know. People be like, yay, I can drink my shit beer again. It's shit beer, man. Oh, so Budweiser is a company owned in Belgium, which is... All right, thank you, Joe, for squaring that away. It's not an American beer, so you should definitely leave it alone. I thought Anheuser-Busch was an American company. All right, whatever, I'm wrong. So, that being said, still... boycott them. It don't matter if they're a Belgian company, German company. Just boycott the fucking company. They're watching their pockets. Now, yes, I said Jack Daniel enthusiast, the fat, because the guy from Jersey proclaims to be the biggest advocate and supporter of Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, burned his merchandise and hundreds of dollars of booze in a now viral tirade against the liquor company for going woke. Paulie Michele, another fucking Italian, posted a video Friday on Facebook of himself torching his Jack Daniels mirrors, glasses, company logo, and wooden bar sign. So this guy really loved Jack Daniels. Here's the thing about Jack Daniels, guys. Jack Daniels liquor or whiskey sucks big dick. It's garbage. It is shit whiskey. It's Sour Patch. It's garbage whiskey. There are so many other better whiskeys to drink than Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels just got the American people to go behind him and go, hey, man, you want to drink? Listen, these companies These drink companies, they're shit, guys. And I don't know why anybody would drink Bud Light to begin with. Again, unless you're having your period, you shouldn't be drinking Bud Light, right? And there are people like Kitty Cat says, I am drinking Bud Light and I love it. Yeah, because you're a fucking you're a sellout. Anybody who supports the sellout or the woke bullshit, you're just a sellout to the American people because this only gets worse. Uh, Cyan, I have Uncle Nearest whiskey. I haven't opened it yet. I've had this whiskey for 3 years and haven't opened it yet because I haven't gotten around to it. But I shall try it now that you said it. I drink Uncle Nearest. Jim Beam's another one I wouldn't fucking drink. Jack Daniels, guys, listen. If you don't have taste buds or you want to scratch your tongue with Brillo pad, yes, drink fucking Jack Daniels. But there's so many other fucking whiskeys I could bring out here right now that are way better than that. Jack Daniels is not better than Spam. I'd rather fucking eat Spam before drinking Jack Daniels. That's how disgusting. Listen, guys, if we had a whiskey tasting night, you guys would look at Jack Daniels in disgust. Like I look at Spam, you look at Jack Daniels in disgust. You'd be like, oh, I've been drinking this shit for how long? I'm telling you right now, there's way better whiskeys out there that are cheaper or just about the same and taste way better. Way fucking better. I don't mess around with Jim Beam. I don't mess around with anything mainstream, if that makes sense. There is one triple cast Irish whiskey that is fucking the shit, and I can't think of it right now. There's two, actually. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. But I'll mention it in my next video. Anyway, with that, guys, Four Roses. How is Four Roses? I've never had it. Four Rose. I've never had that one. Because I'm Irish, I drink Guinness. I like Guinness too. Buffalo Trace isn't bad. Midnight Moon is really good. Angel's Envies, that's not bad. Angel's Envy isn't bad either. Jameson Irish Whiskey. I'm not a big fan of Jameson. I think it's shit too, but that's just my preference. Buffalo Trace. Lady AR. Buffalo Trace isn't bad either. But listen, I bought a 12-year whiskey, aged 12 years. I'm never fucking going back. Never. Holy shit. That, yo, goes down like water. Anything aged over 12, 15 years goes down like water. Fucking awesome. Anyway, back to the Jack Daniels. So anyway, this guy destroyed it because now Jack Daniels is promoting drag queens. And 2021, they had a campaign with RuPaul that a lot of people didn't know about. I didn't know about it either. But they had a campaign with RuPaul back in 2021. And then this year, they featured drag queens, a drag queen campaign. So with that, guys, people are pissed. And they're like, enough already. Why is Jack Daniels? I am pretty fucking sure drag queens don't drink Jack Daniels. That Dylan Mulvaney doesn't drink Bud Light. They drink fucking martinis and shit. Like that skinny lady martini or whatever it is by that chick from the Housewives shows. Why don't they fucking go on there and fucking flaunt it? I mean, listen, I didn't drink Bud Light, so I really didn't care about Bud Light. I'm like, Bud Light's a shit beer anyway. And then all of the men of America were pissed off. I'm like, oh my God, what do these guys have? Vagicitis? You shouldn't be drinking Bud Light anyway. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Bud Light is for if you have vagicitis. If you have an incurable vaginal disorder, you drink Bud Light. Simple, guys. Very fucking simple. If you want to burn your esophagus, you drink fucking Jack Daniels. So if you don't want to speak anymore, drink Jack Daniels. If you have vagicitis, you drink Bud Light. There he goes. Never fucking drink Bud Light again, guys. This is what it's teaching me. I never thought I would have to say it out loud, but apparently I have to because people love this shit. They love shit beer and things that taste like wallpaper. Like, what is going on? Anyway. RuPaul is on in Russia. He's a billionaire. Is he? Listen, guys, I don't understand the drag queen thing. I really don't get it. I don't get how it's funny. I don't get why people want to watch grown men dressed like women. I don't understand it. And then they do Barbara Streisand, Cher. I'm like, what is it? People are like, it's an amazing show. It's not fucking amazing. It's a fucking grown man acting like an asshole. you know. But I guess to each their fucking own. I don't know. Bernhard. So I want to do my own whiskey. As soon as I get fucking land to do so, I would absolutely fucking uh, create my own whiskey, if you will. I know that the whiskey company's taking in investors now, so I'm looking into that as well because I think I want to start my own whiskey line. Um, but yeah, that's down the line. That's something I want to do, but I've been doing research on it for a while, and I found two companies that will allow me to do so. But I got to see what the buy-in is because you have to buy in, and you have to wait years to age it. Like I want to age the whiskey, so whatever I buy into now has to sit for 10 to 12 years. If I want a cheaper, not really tasting good, 5 years. Right? If you do triple cast, you can have something quick like that Jack Daniels, but better. 4 rows, single barrel is better. Ben, I'll definitely look into that. Thank you for confirming that. Angry moonshine, right? It'll be angry whiskey. You know, people like angry whiskey. How angry is going to get? And then you drink it and it soothes you right to sleep. No, I don't know. Can I reserve a bottle now? Again, Smoke and Swamp Outdoors. I got to look more into it, but because I got to contact these companies and see what they want. Some of them want 12 grand. I don't have that, and some of them want 5 to start. I can afford that, right? So again, it depends, and it also depends on the mix. And some of these companies, you have to go down there and do a tasting. So if I do the tasting, I'm 1,000% sure I'll be drunk by the time I leave it because I'm a bitch. I'm a fucking lightweight when it comes to drinking. As far as bitchosity goes, when it comes to drinking, I'm that guy. Like I can have a, a shot or a sip of whiskey and be fine. I go to 2 shots and I'm fucking destroyed. You know. So yeah, and destroyed meaning I'll probably pass out. I go through a phase, which is fucking strange because I don't drink that much. So I do drink whiskey, but I drink it here and there. I don't drink it all the time. Um, but you know, again, that's something that that's something that I've always been just not a drinker. But people are like, but you drink whiskey. But I don't drink whiskey like it's going out of style. There are people who drink whiskey like it was their fucking last day on earth, you know, or vodka like it was their last day on earth. I don't do that shit, you know. Anyway, of course, I went over my 20-minute window. We discussed everything today. So anyway, guys, I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to go off the air now. Tomorrow night, I have a live stream as well. I think I have 2 more videos coming out tomorrow, and I think 1 today. And they'll be really short, quick videos. And other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. Thank you for dealing with my bullshit. And I will see you guys in the next video or live stream.